तपाईहरु हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ गुड मर्निङ नेपाल।
गुड मर्निङ नेपाल।
गुड मर्निङ नेपाल।
ब्रेकपछि फेरि स्वागत छ गुड मर्निङ नेपालमा। मैले ब्रेकमा जानु अघि अलिकति चर्चा गरेँ। समानता हामी सबैजनाको चाहना हो, तर त्यो समानतासम्म पुग्नको लागि धेरै यात्रा र धेरैजना यस्ता व्यक्तिहरू हुनुहुन्छ जसले चाहिँ समानताको प्रति काम गरिरहनु भएको छ, कार्य गरिरहनु भएको छ। अहिलेको नेपालमा पनि एउटा भौतिक अधिकारको लडाइँको कुरा गरिराख्दाखेरि इक्वालिटीको बारेमा हामी बारम्बार चर्चा गर्छौँ, तर त्यो चर्चा गरिराख्दाखेरि अझै पनि त्यसमा देखिरहेको ग्याप, त्यसमा हुन नसकेका प्रयासहरूले कतै कतै निराशा पनि बनाउँछ। तर यो निराशामा आशा बनेर यस्ता व्यक्तिहरू आउनुहुन्छ जसले चाहिँ आफ्नो प्रयासमा समानताको लागि, आफ्नो हक अधिकारको लागि, हाम्रो हक अधिकार के हो भन्ने कुरामा बारम्बार आवाज पनि उठाइरहनु भएको छ। त्यस्तै आवाज आज हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ जो आफूलाई एकदमै प्राउडली फेमिनिस्ट राइटर भन्नुहुन्छ। उहाँले भर्खरै आफ्नो अनसंस्कारी किताबबाट धेरैजनाको माया पनि पाइसक्नु भएको छ। उहाँलाई हामीले विभिन्न तरिकाले चिन्न सक्छौँ, तर उहाँको राइटिङ स्किल, उहाँलाई हामी जब डिजिटली उहाँलाई हेर्छौँ भने एउटा एक्टिभिस्टको रूपमा पनि उहाँलाई देख्न सक्छौँ। उहाँको यात्रालाई हेरिरहेको छौँ। उहाँलाई कार्यक्रममा स्वागत गरौँ। निर्वाणा भण्डारी, नमस्ते। गुड मर्निङ नेपालमा स्वागत छ।
Namaste. Thank you so much, Priya.
So it's a lovely morning and you came with a beautiful book, Unsanskari. So हामीले जब पनि फेमिनिजमको कुरा गर्छौँ नि, पहिले नै सबैजना फेमिनिजम भन्न साथै देयर इज अ ग्लिच, देयर इज अ हेजिटेसन। सो हाउ वुड यु लाइक टु स्टार्ट आवर मर्निङ हाम्रो दर्शकहरूलाई भनेर चाहिँ वाट इज फेमिनिजम फर यु?
Sure. So I think there's lots of misunderstanding and stigma around this word. But it comes from a misunderstanding. But whenever people are alikati unsure about what this word means, ma unharलाई directly भन्छु, बरु तपाई गएर डिक्सनरीमा हेर्नुस् फेमिनिजम को मिनिङ हैन। अनि अहिले पनि हाम्रो भ्युअर्सलाई भन्न चाहन्छु कि फेमिनिजम को definition is very simple, and that's women having social, political, economic equality to men हैन। So this mission is actually very simple कि तर मान्छेहरुको misunderstanding, stereotypeहरु गरेर मात्रै it's become something that it's not.
सो अहिलेको टाइममा वुमेन राइट्स भन्न साथै मान्छेहरू ओफेन्ड हुन्छ। झन् फेमिनिजम भन्न साथ झन् इट हेज बिन लाइक समथिङ, मान्छेहरू दे गोट क्रेजी अबाउट इट। र आफूलाई एउटा फेमिनिस्ट राइटर भनेर इन्ट्रोड्युस गरिराख्दाखेरि, फेमिनिस्ट राइटरको एउटा किताब भनेर अघि लाग्दाखेरि चाहिँ कस्तो खाले रियाक्सन्स आउँछ निर्वाणाजी?
पहिला आई थिङ्क सो मैले I've been writing in this space about feminism नेपालमा for many years, अब 7-8 वर्षै भयो होला मैले पब्लिकली लेख्न थाले before the book also came out. So त्यो बेलामा चाहिँ I think I faced a lot more backlash social media ma, because मेरो main writings start bhakai, but social media ma I started sharing. So त्यो बेलामा चाहिँ I think there was a lot of, again, like backlash, a lot of people saying, okay, कसरी, how is this feminism, how is this true feminism, हुन्छ नि नेपालमा यस्तो हुँदैन भनेर पनि धेरै सुने। तर अहिले आएर, now that I've written the book and it's out, I think also किनकि मेरो book has a very niche audience हैन। So जसले पढिरहेछ or who are taking the time to read it, they already kind of understand मेरो mission and they already identify as a feminist. So त्यस्तो backlash चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म छैन। अब यो शो पछि के हुन्छ तर so far it's been good.
वाउ, अनि त्यो राम्रो पनि हो। हामीले फेमिनिजम मुभमेन्टै हेर्ने हो भने धेरै लामोदेखिको प्रयास रहेको छ धेरै फिमेल्सहरूको, जसले चाहिँ अहिले हामीले पाइरहेको राइट, अधिकारहरू हामीले जुन एक्सर्साइज गर्न पाइरहेको छौँ त्यसमा धेरैजनाको चाहिँ सुनेको नसुनेको पक्कै पनि कन्ट्रिब्युसन्स रहेको छ। तपाईँले भर्खर आफ्नो किताबकै कुरा गर्नु, म किताबबाट नै प्रश्न गर्न खोजेँ। अनसंस्कारी भनेर फेमिनिस्ट लाइफ भनेर चाहिँ किताब तपाईँले निकाल्नु भएको छ। यो अनसंस्कारी भनेर टाइटल दिएर यो किताब लेख्नुको तपाईँको उद्देश्य के थियो प्रेरणा चाहिँ यसमा?
Sure. So अनसंस्कारी भनेको is not a real word हैन, मैले बनाएको word हो। तर यो संस्कारी भन्ने word चाहिँ is something that I heard since I was growing up हैन, since I was young। अनि यो word was always used to describe women only के केटी भनेको संस्कारी हुनुपर्छ। तर मैले त्यो कहिले केटालाई त्यो अप्लाई गरेर कहिले सुनिन के कसैले भनेको। So this was a word मलाई I was trying to understand हैन के हो त संस्कारी भनेको भनेर। अनि म नेपाल बाहिर धेरै बसी, म लेख्ने मेरो मिडियमै इङ्ग्लिसमा हो। So I was like, okay, इङ्ग्लिस पनि वर्ड त्यहाँ जोडेर हैन, इङ्ग्लिस नेपाली मिसाएर अनसंस्कारी भन्छु भनेर। So it's really like a big question of what is an unsanskari woman, and I explore that throughout the book हैन। But I think it's also can be very different for readers and viewers as well, what that means to them. But I think this word is also a good representation मेरो आफ्नो personality को, किनकि I lived Nepal बाहिर for a very long time and मेरो त्यो English personality भनौँ न and sanskari because of course म नेपाली हो so त्यो दुईटा combine गरेर पनि the meeting of two worlds भनौँ न किनकि मेरो book is all about मेरो आफ्नै personal experiences.
वाउ सो यो तपाईँको आफ्नो एक्सपिरियन्सेसको कुरा गरिराख्दाखेरि अनसंस्कारी भनिराख्दाखेरि नेपाल जहाँ संस्कारी भन्नु भने सच अ बिग थिङ एउटा आइडेन्टिटी जस्तै हो तपाईँ आफ्नो आइडेन्टिटीलाई लिएर आफ्नो जेन्डरलाई लिएर आफ्नो नर्म्सलाई लिएर एकदम भोकल पनि हुनुहुन्छ सो यो आफू एउटा व्यक्ति त्यस्तो भइराख्दाखेरि नेपाल चाहिँ सोसाइटी चाहिँ कहाँ छ कता पुगिरहेको छ फेमिनिजमको कुरालाई लिएर महिलाको राइटलाई लिएर महिलाको जीवन जिउने शैलीलाई लिएर चाहिँ नेपाल कहाँ छ जस्तो लाग्छ कनेक्टेड छ कि छैन
Okay. No, I think there's still a big missing piece, I know. So I think अब अहिले हामी 2026 मा आयो. Of course, legally on paper, you know, we have to say women's rights like we're working towards it, or women are much more equal to men भनेर. Statistics or facts here that चाहिँ we can tick off boxes भनौँ न हैन, whether we look in the public space or private space ma pani. So that might be about things like politics ma, right? We have more women in politics pani, or in leadership positions, or at home people might be saying, okay, but the women are allowed to work, you know, unarलाई त्यति arranged marriage ko pressure छैन, different things like that. Measure the city. But when you look at actually how women are feeling about themselves and about these things, there's still a long way to go. Okay? A lot of women are still feeling that they're invisible, like their voices are not heard. They're still feeling insecure about certain things, that they have to prove themselves more than men. I know. So on paper, yes, we can say that we're towards gender equality, but when we ask women how they feel, I think a lot of them are still feeling, no, I have to fight harder for my rights. I'm still feeling invisible and I'm not feeling heard. So we still have a lot of work to do.
यो किताबको रेस्पोन्स तपाईले एकदम निश छ भन्नुभयो तर मैले धेरै जनासँग चर्चा गर्न पाइराख्दाखेरि धेरै जनाले यो किताब इन्ट्रेस्टिङ छ भने मलाई रिकमेन्ड पनि गर्नुभएको थियो अनसंस्कारी सो यो किताब तपाईले लेखेपछि कति समय भइसक्यो मार्केटमा आएको
सो अक्टोबर 2025 सो अब 5 महिना जति भयो
5 महिना जतिमा पनि एउटा राम्रो माया पाइरहनु भएको छ के दुई शब्द के हामीलाई किताबको सुनाइदिनुस् न
हुन्छ sure. Okay, so your chapter is called Culture, hey? Culture ko barema. Arranged marriage takes women's choices away, but her family chooses to carry on this problematic practice. They have the choice to let it go, to not make their children go through something that ended their independence at a young age, where they never got to experience true love or sexual freedom. Our parents did not get the opportunity to make mistakes and learn what kind of life they wanted to create for themselves. They were snatched of the beauty of letting love flourish organically and instead were convinced that love will develop over time.
Wow, that's so beautiful. अलिकति यसको बारेमा एक्सप्लेन गरिदिनुस् न
हुन्छ sure. So अहिले अब I'm at an age where marriage को pressure धेरै छ भनौँ न. I'm 34 and I'm still unmarried by choice. And this is something, marriage as an institution that I've been thinking a lot about. Okay? And Nepalma kati control छ यो institution of marriage भनेर, and especially the pressure that women face to get married. I think no matter how much we achieve, whether it's हाम्रो career ma, हाम्रो studies ma, successful financially boy pani, for women it always comes down to when are you going to get married, and biha nagare someone you're not considered truly successful. So this is something that I'm really challenging a lot, because I see that the pressure is still existing so much there. And my afne life decisions about it, I'm pushing back against that. Kineki mera family, I say very publicly, mera book ma pani I talk about a lot that I'm unmarried by choice. It's not that no one is approaching me to get married, that I'm 34 and unmarried because I don't want to be married, and the marriage does not define my worth as a woman.
Wow, that's so beautifully तपाईले पनि भन्नुभयो त्यो यो भनिराख्दाखेरि नेपाली सोसाइटीमा बिहा नै हाम्रो लागि सबसे ठुलो सक्सेसफुल कोही छ भने उहाँको चाहिँ विवाहको स्टेटस के छले मात्रै हुन्छ सो एक महिला जबसम्म विवाहित हुँदिन until and unless she's not married she's not considered successful सो योबाट तपाईले यस्तो खाली सोच राखिराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ वरिपरिको फ्यामिलीको रिलेटिभ्सको यो रियाक्सन्स कस्तो हुन्छ कसैले एक्सेप्ट गर्नु भएको छ कि छैन डिस्कसन कति हुन्छ कि अब अहिले त हो सब पुगिसक्यो यसलाई जति भने नि फाइदा छैन सो के छ यो रियाक्सन्स
चाहिँ पुगिसक्यो I think because I've been writing about this for so many years 7-8 years I think bookma once you also say something people take you more seriously right okay because I mean it's a big achievement right to write a whole book and put it out into the world so malai the family relatives are not questioning it which is great that I can get that relief भनौँ न कहिले joking way ma अब निर्वाणा कहिले बिहा गर्ने यताउति भन्दाखेरि पनि I kind of go along with it म jokingly नै लिन्छु हैन तर it doesn't change my core value or ideologies. And I think people are already sick of like telling me to do something that they know मलाई गर्न मन छैन.
So they are giving you time. So as being a feminist writer, of course तपाईले gender को approach लाई एकदम नजिकबाट पनि हेर्नु भएको छ, gender identity को कुराहरुलाई पनि you have looked very closer and you've seen the gaps, हैन. So तपाईँ बाहिर पनि ट्राभल गर्नुभएको छ कि यु बिन टु इफ आइम राइट अस्ट्रेलियादेखि मोरोक्कोसम्म धेरै ठाउँ ट्राभल गर्नुभएको छ. यो ट्राभल गरिरहेको एक्सपिरियन्सले चाहिँ आइडेन्टिटीको कुरा, बिलोङ्गिङको कुरा बाहिर नेपालमा के कस्तो डिफरेन्सेस पाउनु भएको छ?
So I grew up in Australia र US for a long time, हैन. अनि बुकमा मैले यसको बारेमा नि कुरा गर्छु कि हाम्रो नेपाली डायस्पोरा is so big across the world. नेपालीहरू जो बाहिर गयो and they're living there settled for I don't know 10, 20, 30 years. So there's millions of Nepalis that left Nepal and they never came back. So your perspective, but I'd say, this sense of identity, belonging, is very interesting to look at. Kinaki, we move into a culture when we go Nepal Baira that maybe won't accept us, where we feel very different from the people around us. And what does that do to our sense of identity? Do we feel like we belong? I explore this a lot in my book. And मैले travel पनि गरेको छु. Solo travel is something I'm very passionate about. And I recommend to a lot of women especially that solo travel गरेपछि you see the world but you learn so much about yourself. And independence भनेको you learn what that is and you actually become smarter. I really think like solo travel makes you smarter. So मेरो solo travels I went across the world, many countries, and त्यो बेलामा I had a different perspective of belonging, that even as an outsider, as a traveler, कसरी चाहिँ are people still able to accept me? Are people still able to listen to मेरो perspectives, want to know about my culture? अनि मलाई कस्तो राम्रो surprising thing के लाग्यो भने they were so interested to know about Nepali culture कि ए तिमी नेपालबाट आछौ, like गाना गाएर सुनाऊ हैन, तिमीहरु के खाना खान्छौ यता उति भनेर कस्तो curiosity थियो कि. And that was really beautiful. And मलाई पनि त्यसले के गर्यो भने reawakened passion and love for मेरो आफ्नै identity and made me actually connect मेरो Nepali identity सँग in a different way.
Yeah. So तपाईले यो देखिराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ नेपालमा चाहिँ आफ्नै आइडेन्टिटी, आफ्नै कल्चरलाई लिएर नेपालमा चाहिँ बिलोङ्गिङ फिल गर्नु भएको छ कि छैन एज अ फेमिनिस्ट नै भनौँ न?
It's very complicated answer भनौँ न. Yes and no. I think still मैले भने जस्तै बुकको बारेमा पनि it's niche हैन. I think the women I surround myself with, people like you and मेरो साथीहरु, I think we are strong feminists. We say that we are. हाम्रो धेरै सोच विचार मिल्छ and we advocate for the similar things. So when I'm around people that are like-minded, I think okay, yes, there's acceptance भनौँ न. तर म जब टिकटकमा जान्छु अनि टिकटकको कमेन्ट्स हेर्छु, I realize that कतिजनाको mentality is still stuck at a very sexist and patriarchal level. So I think there's a lot of education that still needs to be done. A lot of people still not understanding why are women fighting for our rights, and in every sense of it, not just in big things like public space, that are also like the way that we can dress, the way we can speak,
एकदम पर्सनल चोइसेसलाई लिएर नि.
Exactly. On social media मा पनि अब आफ्नै social media page मा पनि when you say what you think, people are coming to attack you, which is very strange, if you think about it, किनकि आफ्नो space मा to put आफ्नै विचार out and still get criticized for it is something that we should not be facing. So I think yeah, Nepalमा acceptance को I think there's
if and बिचमा छ, यो balance आउन टाइम छ. तपाईले आफै social media को कुरा गर्नु, I was about to come. You are a digital activist as well. So तपाईको एउटा Instagram audience छ, तपाईको TikTok audience छ, तपाईको Facebook छ, तर यो सबैमा different audiences छ. So यो different audience मा तपाई त अब एउटा writer हुनुहुन्छ, तपाई त अलि आफू पनि अब कमेन्टहरुले त तपाईलाई त बदर गर्छ भने एक आम केटी मान्छे जसले चाहिँ social media मा आफ्नो भावना, आफ्नो कुराहरु राख्दाखेरि बारम्बार जज भइरहेको हुन्छ. त्यस्तो समयमा के गर्ने, हामी के पोस्टै नगर्ने कि पोस्ट गरिराख्दा how we deal with it, how you deal with it?
So this is something that I've faced for many years. अहिले आएर चाहिँ मलाई it doesn't impact me at all. तर it's not easy to get to that level, I think. किनकि of course the attacks and the bullying can be very personal and it can be something that even gets to a violent level or threats.
You women मा धेरै देख्छौँ हामीले, women मा हुने attack धेरै देख्छौँ.
Oh, absolutely. अनि त्यही especially हाम्रो सोच, if someone does not agree with our thoughts, they find a way to attack other things about us, whether it's our appearance, whether it's bullying, degradation. There's so many things, weapons that people use, even social media, to tear us down. But I guess my suggestion is that you have to just not let it bother you. Okay, पहिला of course huncha, like you might cry, you might think, oh my god, मलाई किन यस्तो भइरहेछ, I should stop speaking out about this किनकि people are writing this to me. तर त्यो गर्यो भने actually they've succeeded in silencing us. Okay, so we have to हुन्छ नि just grow a thicker skin. It's hard. It shouldn't be happening in the first place. तर हुन्छ यो हैन. And I think it's really important for women to keep raising their voice about things that they believe in, things that are passionate about. And all we can really do is ignore, keep block गर्यो हैन यसो counterलाई अनि you have to keep just speaking because it's worth it.
Yeah, and तपाईले भनिराख्दा चाहिँ नेपालमा फेमिनिजम अझै इन्क्लुसिभ हुन सकेको छ कि होइन यो अझै पनि अहिलेको टाइममा नि हेर्ने भने स्टिल गेट किपिङ वाट अ गुड फेमिनिस्ट लुक्स लाइक भन्ने गरिरहेको छ के चाहिँ भइरहेछ जस्तो लाग्छ?
I think अहिले because in the digital age ma, I think there's a lot more space for younger voices, younger women, people maybe who aren't as known हैन अरु sector ma to come out and say write what they're write what they believe in, say what they believe in. So I think त्यो space ma, yes, there's room for voices. But in the sense of what is a good feminist or real feminist versus fake feminist भनेर त्यो अझ उ छ के kind of misunderstanding. मलाई नै I've had a lot of public criticism पहिला saying you're a fake feminist and you're a pseudo feminist. अनि किन भन्दाखेरि I'm not out building schools, or I'm not working in girls' education or menstruation activism. Those are, of course, very, very valid and important work and part of feminism. But there's also other aspects of feminism, Nita. And because I write about stuff like bodily autonomy, sexuality, about rejecting marriage and motherhood, are more deeply rooted in our society, our patriarchal society.
It's uncomfortable.
Exactly. So people are still not ready to confront that or talk about it. अनि त्यसो भएर people don't know what to do with it, and they're like हैन यो चाहिँ idea comes from the western world हैन, this is not हाम्रो नेपाली संस्कारबाट हैन, यो बाहिरबाट ल्याएको idea हो, त्यसो भएर तिमी real feminist हैन भनेर के. So which is not true.
Which is not true. So यो real feminist के कुरा गर्दा feminist भनिसक्दाखेरि हामी अगेन पनि पहिला त विवादबाटै सुरु हुन्छ. फेमिनिजमको कुरा कहिले पनि एउटा राम्रो कन्भर्सेसन डिस्कसनबाट सुरु भएको छ. मैले खासै नेपालमा कहीँ देखाएको छुइनँ. फेमिनिजम भन्न साथै फेमिनिस्ट तपाईहरुले सबै पुरुषलाई हेट गर्नुहुन्छ, तपाईहरुलाई आफ्नो अधिकार मात्रै आफू मात्रै देख्नुहुन्छ भनेर यो बारम्बार सुनिन्छ. तपाईले नि सुन्नुभयो होला. सो यस्तो खाले सोच भएको मान्छेहरुको चाहिँ तपाईको आन्सर चाहिँ के हुन्छ? Do feminists really hate men?
No, they do not. Again, it's historically here the feminist movement has become active. There's waves of feminist movement. That there'll be a period of time where all these voices and stuff come more to the forefront. And then period dies down. So this always there's the powers, the people in position of power want to suppress us. Our voices they want to suppress us because no one wants to give up power. Power is very comfortable, right? So this is where the accusations come. Okay? So they say, okay, because they don't want their power taken away from them. So they say, when you're talking about your rights, it actually means you hate us. Okay? Taratyo is something that's very self-absorbed because it's not about them at all. What we're saying is we deserve freedoms, we deserve the same rights to exist as you do. It's not about you, it's not about hating you at all. So
त्यो भइसकेपछि सबैको लागि हो, सबैले सबैको लागि सोच्दिनु पर्यो भनेर. तर महिलाहरुको कथाहरु जब आफ्नो कथा भन्नुपर्ने हुन्छ, यदि त्यो कार्यसँग जुडेको छैन, वर्कमा होस्, सबै पनि घरमा होस्, women do have their stories as well. So do you think only women are taking up space to tell their own stories? What is the situation right now? How have you seen it?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. I think there is definitely good progress going along. And because I am a digital activist, space that I know about. Writing, storytelling, online is growing so much. I think especially Gen Z, it's really inspiring to see so many Gen Z women that do, not just women, men also, that say, okay, I am a feminist, they embrace this label, and they're wanting to talk about difficult topics that we just discussed before. I think they're more vocal with their family, on society, about saying, no, this is the way I want to live my life. And also more women making films, writing books like mine. So I think there's more room for that. the freedom that also Nepal बाहिर गएपछि there is a certain sort of freedom that you get more of कि किनकि यहाँ बसेर of course we still worry that society ले के भन्छ हाम्रो family
culture
अनि हाम्रो family ले के भन्छ or हामीले के भन्यो भने हाम्रो family लाई impact हुन्छ कि हैन so Nepal बाहिर गएपछि पनि so many Nepalis leave like I mentioned त्यो बेलामा पनि you feel more of a sense of freedom that okay I can say what I want and be who I want to be कि and that freedom is irresistible.
The confidence.
Yes, and in Nepal, but you can see why so many young people go and don't come back. There's many reasons. About the whole diaspora, we can do an analysis. Women, especially, I really see it. Kinaki, when you go out, you get independence of every sort that Nepalma you might not be having, and that includes telling your truth and being very vocal with your stories.
So आफ्नो स्टोरीजहरुकै कुराहरु पनि कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ समाज यस्तै छ कि जहाँ चाहिँ वुमेनको स्टोरीज चाहिँ अरूले लेख्दिन्छ कतै फ्यामिली हुन सक्छ कतै रिलेटिभ्स हुन सक्छ कहिलेकाहीँ हामी बसिरहेको समाजै त्यस्तै छ जहाँ महिलाको कथा चाहिँ महिलालाई भनिन्छ त्यही भएर महिला संस्कारी हुनुपर्छ भन्छ महिला ट्रेडिसनल हुनुपर्छ भन्छ अनि जो महिला पनि यसको योबाट अलिकति बाहिर आउँछ त्यो महिलालाई यो समाजले एक्सेप्ट गर्दैन गरेको अवस्था पनि एकदमै कमै होला जहाँ गरेको देखिन्छ सो यस्तो गरिराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब कोही वुमेनलाई चाहिँ म अगाडि आउन मन छ तर यो सबै चीजको पनि डर हुन्छ नि त अब नेपालमै बसेर के गर्न मन छ तर नेपालमा नै यति धेरै जजमेन्टल सोसाइटीबाट चाहिँ यो सोचबाट चाहिँ बाहिर निस्किनलाई तपाईको पनि आफैले पनि बाहिर निस्किनलाई कति प्र्याक्टिस गर्नुपर्छ एक आम छोरी मान्छे जस्तै तपाईलाई अहिले हेर्दै पनि हुनुहुन्छ उहाँलाई पनि कति धेरै चीज मन छ तर यही समाजको डरले गर्दा यसले गर्दा गर्न नसकिरहेको कुराहरू एकदम बेसिक कुराहरू पनि गर्न नसकिरहेको ताखेरि चाहिँ कसरी स्टार्ट गर्ने कसरी लड्ने
Great question, Priya. I don't know where to start. I think Nepal bhitra pani we come from such different backgrounds and such different levels of privilege as well. If you have grown up already receiving education, for example, English ma, you're able to read and write. That already gives you more opportunities to express yourself than if you've never received that. So I think the one answer ma sabai din sakdina because it's hard. But I think the change can start within the home. So I guess no matter your background, you can fight for the things you believe in. And of course, it depends how supportive your family is. Some parents and some families are more liberal thinking or more accepting that, okay, if you don't want to do this, or but other families are much more traditional or have much more sexist views and expectations of you. I think हाम्रो personal situations there is certain things that we can do to assert our independence and autonomy. And you hear this a lot, right? About so many attitudes and things that it all starts within the home. And the biggest thing I think for women's autonomy and independence is financial independence. So I think when girls and women are able to earn for themselves, the world opens up to them. So yote is something I stress all the time. I know that like education to bhayalyo, tara education na bhaye pani, if you're able to earn your own money, you can really be free. And this is, I think, so important to help women achieve this.
Yes, definitely. Financial independency, देखि हाम्रो confidence सबै चीज समाजको भित्री अंगहरुमा नै कता न कतै जुडिएको छ. सो त्यसबाट बाहिर आउनको लागि पनि हामीले विभिन्न प्रयासहरु चाहिँ गर्नुपर्ने छ जुन प्रयासको बारेमा हामीले चर्चा पनि गरिरहेको छौं. र यसमा अझै पनि थप चर्चा गर्नुपर्न बाँकी छ तर छोटो ब्रेक पछि.
Brought to you by Dabur Red Toothpaste. Problems like राख्छ कोसौं टाढा.
ब्रेकपछि फेरि स्वागत छ. आज हामी लेखक निर्वाणा भण्डारी ज्यूसँग चर्चा गर्दैछौँ. फेमिनिस्ट उहाँकै भर्खरै आएको किताब पनि अनसंस्कारी अफ फेमिनिस्ट लाइफ र फेमिनिजमकै हामीले चर्चा गरिराख्दाखेरि नेपालमा तपाईले यदि एउटा स्टिरियोटाइप चाहिँ नेपालमा नेपाली सोसाइटीबाट नेपाली वुमेनको बारेमा ब्रेक गर्नु पर्यो भने त्यो के हुन्छ?
I think that I guess यो अलिकति बाहिर भएको पनि विचार हो when we look at Nepal and Nepali women is that सबैजना is very oppressed भनेर. All Nepali women बिचराहरू, they're all from a developing country हैन, they're so oppressed, we need to free them भनेर बिचरा भनेर. तर this is something I think I really want to fight against किनकि Nepali women have achieved so much in terms of education, in terms of their careers. They're able to live very multifaceted lives, So it's not, we're not oppressed. Yes, of course, there's things that we face. तर त्यो बाहिरबाट हेर्दाखेरि just because हामी developing country मा बस्छौं भन्दैमा does not mean we're all very oppressed and we need to be freed. It's more that we need the tools to free ourselves.
Wow. अनि यो सँगै संस्कार भन्ने तपाईको लागि यो restriction हो कि यो identity हो?
I think restriction, that, well, it's considered an identity that are rooted in restriction. I think this is another conversation that people aren't ready to have yet. That hamro Nepali culture is deeply patriarchal in many ways.
Yes.
And त्यो भन्न नै people are very worried still. किनकि they think, okay, hamro culture, hamro religion लाई कसरी यसरी attack गर्न सक्छौ, यस्तो patriarchal कसरी भन्न सक्छौ, this is hamro way of living भनेर. तर actually the culture भित्र कति धेरै things छ that serve men and do not serve women at all. And your sanskari is one of the ways that women are actually told to stay in a tradition that doesn't actually serve them.
So एक तरिकाले हाम्रो लागि पनि सर्भ गर्ने वातावरण बनाइदियो भनेको हामीले पनि एकअर्काको लागि नै भनेर. सो यही सँगसँगै चाहिँ अर्को प्रश्न नि फेमिनिजम चाहिँ अहिलेको समयमा के हो? ट्रेन्ड हो कि ट्रान्सफर्मेसन हो के हो?
Transformation, for sure. I think feminism can never be a bad word, and it can never be something that we can underestimate. I think a wave of feminism, again, very much powered by the digital space, and as social media has become bigger, I mean, we have access to so much knowledge from around the world, and can also see feminist movement aru country ma ke garira cha tyaबाट we can learn, and we can see हाम्रो Nepali context ma is it adaptable or is it very different भनेर. But I think it's always transformation. There's a lot of work to do still. मेरो life ma, if I ever have a daughter, usko life ma, there'll still be things we have to fight against for gender equality. Tara, I think definitely we're in the right direction, but just have to keep going.
So it's just transformation.
It is.
So
yes.
one thing that तपाईले चाहिँ अब चाहिँ नेपाली सोसाइटीले चाहिँ एउटा एकदमै uncomfortable truth that Nepali society needs to hear right now.
Marriage and motherhood are not the definers of a woman. It's not. Every woman does not need to get married and become a mother to have value to her life.
Wow. अब यसमा अब हामी पछि पनि चर्चा गर्छौं, तर यो हामी अब हाम्रो दर्शकको विवेकमा पनि छोड्दिन्छौं. यही कुरा गरिराख्दाखेरि नेपालमा चाहिँ कस्तो पनि हामी बारम्बार सुन्छौं ए फेमिनिजमको कुरा धेरै भयो, टु मच भइरहेको छ, एकदमै टु लाउड छन्, टु तपाईको एकदमै संस्कारी पनि छन्, यो बारम्बारै आइरहेको पनि हुन्छ के. सो यसमा चाहिँ यस्तो भन्ने व्यक्तिहरुलाई चाहिँ तपाईले के रिप्लाई दिनुहुन्छ? यो तपाई एकदम टु मच भयो, टु लाउड भयो, यो यस्तो पनि हुन्छ, यस्तो नचाहिने कुराहरु गरेर हुन्छ भन्ने पनि बारम्बार त सुन्नुहुन्छ होला नि. So what would be your reply to them?
Usually I don't speak directly to जो मान्छेहरुले जो agree with me so strongly भनौं न, किनकि I know that उनीहरुको I can never change their mind के. When someone is so stuck in the way that they think and त्यस्तो regressive छ भने त्यो मैले बोलेको पनि they're not even taking it seriously, they're just wanting आफ्नै agenda to prove it and to try to silence me. So I don't fight a battle that's not going to lead anywhere. Okay? But in terms of other women maybe who are saying like, okay, Unsani, maybe I should consider twice before I speak up and stuff, I just say, oh, we have to keep doing this. Our society change hone. There are certain people we can never make them understand. Until Jaba, we spend all our energy in trying to make people understand that don't want to understand. They are exhausted on some. Until our energy, our efforts can be directed elsewhere where we can actually achieve more with our voice.
हजुर, यही भनिराख्दा तपाईको वरिपरिको चाहिँ पुरुष साथीहरु या तपाईको वरिपरिको पुरुषहरु कस्तो हुनुहुन्छ? मेनहरु कस्तो हुनुहुन्छ? उहाँहरु प्रोग्रेसिभ थिंकिङको हुनुहुन्छ कि उहाँहरुसँग नि तपाईले बुझाउँदा हुन्छ कि यो कस्तो छ? तपाईको वरिपरिको चाहिँ मेन इन्भाइरोनमेन्ट चाहिँ कस्तो छ?
I don't have many men मेरो इन्भाइरोनमेन्टमा.
Okay.
तर म यसो भन्छु, मेरो बुक पढ्ने few people who have really surprised me है. एउटा चाहिँ मेरो अंकल हुनुहुन्थ्यो that always, especially older men, uncle generation, मेरो fatherको generationहरु, उनीहरु त of course they grew up in a different time. उनीहरुको thinking is even more patriarchal than हाम्रो एजको men भनौं न. So उहाँले चाहिँ मेरो अंकलले यो बुक किन्नु भयो अनि त्यसपछि नेक्स्ट टाइम हामी भेट्दाखेरि ए मैले तिम्रो बुक पढी भन्यो कि. अनि फर्स्ट straight away I thought, oh my god, के भन्ला यो अंकलले मलाई. तर what he said was, I agree with your views on feminism भनेर कि. अनि यो चाहिँ I was really impressed because I did not think हुन्छ नि that he's going to feel this way भनेर. And a few other uncles, older men that I know who've actually read my book and taken the time to read it and want to understand. त्यो चाहिँ I think is again very positive. किनकि हामी कहिले कहिले अन्डर एस्टिमेट गर्छौँ ओल्डर जेनेरेसनलाई ए उनीहरू त हुन्छ नि बुढो भइसक्यो उनीहरूको सोच या बुझ्दैन लाइक देयर स्टक इन देयर थिङ्किङ भनेर तर आन्टी अङ्कल यसो ओल्डर जेनेरेसनको पिपल पनि really can surprise us किनकि so many things they are evolved in their thinking we just underestimate
and I think they have experienced life पनि and they know कि हो यो त हामीलाई त्यतिकै भन्दै रहेछ हामीले गर्दा रहेछौँ भने छुटाउन सक्ने पनि एउटा चाहिँ उहाँले अझै क्ल्यारिटी लाइफलाई धेरै देखिसक्नु भएको हुन्छ सो त्यो भएर नि रिलेट गर्न नि सक्नुहुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ क्या मलाई चाहिँ सो तपाईँले यही भनिराख्दाखेरि तपाईँको कति धेरै ठाउँमा चाहिँ पोएट्री रिसाइटलहरू पनि भइरहन्छ आज पनि पोएट्री रिसाइटल छ तपाईँको तपाईँ जस्तै अरू पोएट्री गर्ने व्यक्तिहरू लेखकहरूसँग भेट्दै पनि हुन्छ सो यो रिसाइटल्सहरू चाहिँ किन महत्त्वपूर्ण छ नेपालमा पोएट्रीलाई लिएर किताबलाई लिएर राइटिङलाई लिएर मान्छेहरू अझै पनि देयर इज एन अडियन्स देयर इज पिपल द्याट जसले चाहिँ यस्तो कुराहरूलाई चाहिँ इन्जोय पनि गर्नुहुन्छ लाइक एक्सेप्ट गर्नुहुन्छ कस्तो छ त्यो चाहिँ अडियन्सेस त्यहाँ चाहिँ
या सो आज चाहिँ हाम्रो इभेन्ट इज वुमेन इन लिटरेरी स्पेसेस र नेपाली लिटरेचरमा उनीहरूको भोइसेस हाम्रो भोइसेसलाई एम्प्लिफाई गर्न हजुर सो म अनि अर्को दुईजना वुमेन राइटर्स हुभ रिटन बुक्स अनि हाम्रो पोएट्री पर्फर्मेन्स पनि हुन्छ तर yeah I think it's something that people are very interested in किनकि I think there's a lot of young women who want to be writers हैन or who they're already writing होममा जर्नल्समा यताउति तर people are still अलिकति scared to say out loud I am a writer भनेर के किनकि कति मान्छेहरूले प्रुफ माग्छ इन अ वे मलाई पनि पहिला when I used to say I'm a writer कति people who don't understand who are not from writing background will say have you written books तिमीले किताब लेखेको छौ त कतिवटा किताब लेखेको छ हैन तर this is not what makes a writer and you don't need to have a book that you put into the world you can write आफै राइट गरेर जर्नल लेख्नलाई पनि you can say you're a writer so मलाई चाहिँ I really want to encourage this environment of especially young women like to encourage them in their writing हैन to inspire them to say okay there's space where you should write and be inspired by other writers भनेर and also to recognize that Nepalma पनि there is amazing women writers who deserve more of a platform because still a lot of books that are written or a lot of books that general publicly that they know about are written by men a male domination in creative fields is still very very big so हाम्रो women writers are like we need to amplify their voices more give them a space to share their work so this is something that I am very passionate about
so यो भनिराख्दा अनसंस्कारी त तपाईको किताब आइसक्यो धेरैजनाले लेखि पनि रहनु भएको होला धेरैलाई तपाईले हेरेर कतिले लेखिरहनु भएको अब सायद त्यसलाई बुकमा लिएर जान सक्नेलाई प्रेरणा पनि हुन सक्छ सो आफैले अब अनसंस्कारी पछि अब नेक्स्ट वाट भनेर आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ यो प्रश्न पनि आइरा होला सो के सोचिरहनु भएको छ अब आफ्नो किताबको जर्नीलाई चाहिँ
Yeah, so already I think my second book ma kaam garna suru garisake.
Already suru garisake.
Yes. And also I'm going into the world of filmmaking as well. So yo barsa chai I'm making a film. It's called Unwed. And yo chai is going to be the stories of unmarried Nepali women. So unmarried by choice ani jo divorced hunubo and also widowed. Ani how their lives are outside of the institution of marriage because this is something like I said before my book ma pani I write a lot about marriage ko baira what can the meaning of a woman's life be so two stories I want to ask directly to women who are living these lives on documentary filmmaking ma what I love is that other women's stories like taka capture garna milcha ke writing ma chai mero personal writing ho mainly after experiences ko lekchu तर documentary and filmmaking ma you can really give vision and space for other women to share their stories so this is something I'm very excited about and my second book is going to be more of a collection of other women's stories as well because like I said I want to give space for other women to also share their stories so hopefully your Barsa Dubai project complete huncha
and we wish you all the best for that Unsanskari पछि टाइटल आइसकेको छ बुकको
छैन
not yet okay we hope that त्यो किताबको पनि हामीले यात्रा यहाँबाट तपाईको डकुमेन्ट्रीको यात्रा पनि यहाँ फेरि पनि शेयर गर्ने मौका पाऊँ lots of व्यक्तिले त जहिले पनि के गरिराख्दाखेरि एकदमै आउटडेटेड क्वेशन होला तर हामीले आफूलाई 5 वर्षबाट कहाँ देख्छौँ 10 वर्षबाट कहाँ देख्छौँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अहिले चाहिँ मान्छेले दे मेक फन अफ द क्वेसन इट्सेल्फ बट मैले तपाईलाई यसमा नै अलिकति के जोडेर सोध्न चाहे भन्दाखेरि 10 वर्षमा चाहिँ तपाईको कामले चाहिँ कसरी कन्ट्रिब्युट गरोस् फेमिनिजम वर्ल्डमा कि तपाईले 10 वर्षपछि चाहिँ यस्तो नेपालमा यस्तो फेमिनिजम चाहिँ देख्न पाओस् भनेर चाहिँ कसरी भिजन गर्नुहुन्छ
I think what I'd love to see is more women creatives. So we were also just talking about that. Tara 10 वर्षमा if I can see that more women have written books like mine and I'm not exactly like mine of course that afno personal experiences like share garna or afno opinions like to represent that very honestly without fear that society le ke bhancha bhanera so more books written by women more films made by women that is something I really want to see. So 10 वर्षमा त्यो हुन्छ नि, let's say there's so many
feminist भन्दाखेरि मान्छेले नतर्सोस् I am a proud feminist भन्ने सक्ने वातावरण
absolutely yes
त्यो मेरो लागि पनि हुन सकोस् किन तपाईले भनिराख्दाखेरि म पनि कतिवटा ठाउँमा सायद हेजिटेन्ट भइरहेको छु कि आफुलाई I'm a very proud because what I do is exactly what a feminism spokes for तर कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ एउटा हेजिटेसन सायद समाजको प्रेसरले होला कि वरिपरि के हुन्छ सो अझै थिक स्किन हुन बाँकी नै छ तर तपाईँ भइसक्नु भएको छ एन्ड द जर्नी इज भेरी लङ सो आज तपाईँको यो रिसाइटल पनि छ यसमा चाहिँ तपाईँले आफ्नो किताबकै कुराहरू गर्नुहुन्छ कि आफ्नो अरू पोइट्रीको पनि चर्चाहरू हुन्छ यहाँ
आज चाहिँ धेरै बुक अनि राइटिङ प्रोसेसको बारेमा हुन्छ हाम्रो सो स्पेसली एज अ वुमेन पब्लिसिङ अ बुक इन नेपाल कस्तो थियो त हाम्रो एक्सपिरियन्स भनेर अनि what made us become writers and हामी तीनजनाले will be sharing excerpts from our book as well हैन so yes mainly around the book because that's the big thing मेरो last 1-2 years is all मेरो energy has been in
the book so यो बुक दर्शकहरूले कसैले चाहिँ अब यो बुक हामीलाई पनि किन्न मन छ चाहियो भनेपछि चाहिँ के गर्नुपर्छ कता जानुपर्छ
so usually मैले चाहिँ भन्छु directly मेरो लिंकबाट लिनुस् भनेर
त्यो तपाईको इन्स्टाग्राम लिंक
yes or हामी I guess caption मा पनि राख्न मिल्छ
हजुर ओके
तर त्यसमा because I am an independent self published writer हैन that means like मैले आफ्नै सबै पैसा हालेर मैले आफै I did the whole thing so when you buy directly from me your support goes directly to me तर book stores हरुमा पनि छ हाम्रो Pilgrims the local project wisdom books अनि bookverse मा पनि you can find
ओके सो यसरी नै हामीले इन्डिपेन्डेन्ट बुक राइटर्सहरूलाई सपोर्ट गर्नको लागि पनि उहाँलाई आरामले सामाजिक सञ्जालमा गएर खोजेर उहाँहरूको किताब पढेर अलिकति आफ्नो सोचलाई पनि अलि ठुलोमा बनाउने प्रयास पनि गर्न सक्छौँ आज निर्वाणाजी गिभ अस भेरी आफ्नो एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट टाइम प्लस दिस इज फ्राइडे स्टार्टेड विथ अ topic that we should have conversation about but merely we don't तर तपाईले हामीलाई एकदम धेरै कुरा छोटो टाइममा शेयर गरिदिनु भयो टाइम दिनुभयो त्यसको लागि थ्यांक यू सो मच
थ्यांक यू प्रिया इट वाज वन्डरफुल टु बी हियर
र यही सँगसँगै आजको शुक्रबारको दिनलाई गुड मर्निङ नेपालबाट हामी अन्त्य गर्छौँ किनभने हामी जहिले पनि के एउटा आशा र मेसेज दिन चाहन्छौँ दर्शकहरूलाई भन्दाखेरि पनि सोचको चेन्ज आउनको लागि प्रयास आफैबाट पहिला गर्नुपर्छ बिस्तारै बिस्तारै चेन्जको ठुल्ठुलो अपेक्षा राखिराख्दाखेरि यो चेन्जको भाग म कसरी भइरहेको छु म पनि एउटा जिम्मेवार नागरिक कसरी भइरहेको छु समानताको हक अधिकारको लागि मेरो पनि आवाज कसरी बलियो बनाएर चाहिँ एक महिलालाई नै कसरी सुरक्षित महसुस गराइरहेको छु भन्ने प्रश्न अब गर्ने टाइम आइसकेको छ यानि कि यो चेन्ज यो विवेक हाम्रो पनि हो त्यतिकै महत्त्वपूर्ण छ देशलाई बनाइराख्दाखेरि आफू पनि बन्नुपर्छ भन्ने यो मेसेज सँगसँगै गुड मर्निङ नेपालबाट बिदा लिने समय भइसकेको छ भोलि शनिबार हामी एक दिन आउँदैनौँ आइतबार फेरि पनि हजुरहरूलाई भेट्छौँ हजुरको शुक्रबार आजको दिन विशेष होस् एकदमै हजुरहरूको स्वास्थ्यको एकदमै नै राम्रो स्वास्थ्यको हामी इच्छा राख्दै तपाईहरुको स्वास्थ्य एकदमै राम्रो होस् भन्दै आज भने तपाईको दिन शुभ होस् हामीलाई साथ दिदै गर्नु तर हेर्दै गर्नु होला कान्तिपुर टेलिभिजन धन्यवाद नमस्ते